Welcome back to the Carolina Sea Hornets, everybody. Today, I want to talk about a very important topic, and that topic is the ditch bag. So, a lot of boaters I've noticed don't know what to put in these ditch bags or simply just don't have a ditch bag on the boat. Personally, me, I take the responsibility of getting my passengers back home safely very seriously. So serious, in fact, that I'm as thorough as having Starlink on the boat, two EPIRBs, a Nautilus Lifeline, two radios, um, and a Garmin InReach. And not only that, but one of my other passengers that often fishes with me, he has his own Garmin InReach as well. But today, I want to go over everything that I'm keeping in the bag for this year, 2025. So to start it off, we have the ACR ditch bag. This has a dedicated EPIRB slot and it does float. The first item that I'm going to have in here is a throw bag with a 50-foot rope and its own little flotation device on here. My mindset is that once we're in the water, this is what we're going to use to tie each other off so that we don't drift apart and out of eyesight, out of audio sight, all that kind of stuff. The next item I'm going to have on here is the EPIRB itself. This EPIRB is the biggest EPIRB I could find, and it stays on for, according to it, 2 days. Now, to those of you who don't know what an EPIRB is, this will send GPS coordinates to the Coast Guard in a steady fashion, letting them know a breadcrumb trail of where the current is taking us, how fast it's taking us, and it'll let them know where we are at every given moment. The next item in the box is the typical whistle and a mirror with a eye hole through the middle of it so that you can reflect sunlight towards helicopters and boaters and other people to help them see where you are in the water. The next item is a Standard Horizon HX890 two-way radio. This also has GPS coordinates so that you can tell whoever is talking to you on the radio exactly where you are. Ideally, this will be able to reach a nearby boater and we can have the nearby boater save us rather than having the Coast Guard come all the way out to find us. When we're out there anywhere from 20 to 70 miles out in the ocean, so you've got to be prepared. Next item on the list is a floodlight. And so this is a waterproof, positively buoyant floodlight. It can stay on for up to 10 hours and it does have an SOS light feature. My mindset is that if we're floating at night and we hear the helicopter coming to get us, we can turn this on and it'll be very easy for them to be able to see us in the water. Now, if you'll notice, I've got everything in some sort of a Ziploc bag. This one is in a 5 mil Ziploc bag, so it should be pretty hard to puncture. The idea is that everything in this bag should be able to float when we take it out of the bag. Also, when everything is getting beat up in the boat from every day-to-day ride that we have out there, if, like, say, the dye packs, for example, got broken, they would get contained into their bag and not ruin everything else in the bag. And that brings us to the next item here is the Banana Boat 100 SPF sunblock. I sunburn very easily. I'm sure other people do too. When you're stranded out in the water, the last thing you want to do is be sunburnt. So this is for me and all of my passengers to make sure that we do not get sunburnt. Also, on top of the sun protection, we have this emergency Mylar thermal blanket. We would keep this over us to be able to shade ourselves from the sun. There are 4 of them in here. Now, I have usually about 4 people on the boat with me. I think the most I've ever had has been 6 during the U.S. Open fishing tournament, the King Fishing tournament out in Southport. So this would protect us against the sun. These are the Orion green dye packs. We carry 4 of these. This will dye the water around you green, making it easier to identify where you are. I also keep a little miniature air horn here. I don't know how long this will work. I meant to order the bigger one, but this is what arrived. This is not going to be my primary way of making a noise for somebody to be able to hear us. I actually keep a air horn on my dive BCD, which goes to my inflator valve, which is powered by my 133 cubic feet steel tank. So that whistle would have probably 1,000,000 times more the oomph, the longevity, and everything of this. But this is just, in case we need it. Then you have your Coast Guard regulated flare gun with your 6 flares. These flares only last about 2 years. They have an expiration date on them. Make sure yours are not past that expiration date. My mindset is that when we hear a helicopter come nearby, we're going to shoot one of these off, whether it's day or nighttime. Now, this item, I am debating on whether I'm actually going to keep this in the bag. I may swap this out for a medical kit of some kind. I don't currently have a medical kit in this bag. These are handheld flares. I found out that they only last about 3 minutes a piece, and really 3 minutes in the water is, to me, not long enough. So, but I have these. They last only about 2 years as well. When they expire, I'll probably swap them out for a medical kit. Personally, on myself, when I go diving, I keep a Garmin inReach. I am paranoid, where if I was to get taken away from the boat, I want somebody to be able to find me. So I have not only my Garmin inReach on me, I also have a, what is this? What model is this? I'm not exactly sure which model EPIRB this is, but this is an ACR EPIRB. And then I also have one of the newer versions of the Nautilus Lifeline. I really don't know how much I would trust this. This is supposed to be able to radio somebody nearby, kind of like a two-way radio, but it just kind of plays a recording of your coordinates of where you are and lets people nearby know that you're in the water in need of help. I also keep, in that bag, 4 bottles of water, and we also keep these liquid IV packs in here. My mindset is that if you're in the water drifting, you've got the sun beating on you, the waves beating on you. Without water, you can last maybe 1 to 2 days. With water, you should be more comfortable in those 1 to 2 days, if not be able to last longer, especially with these liquid IV packs. So let me go over the mindset that I'm going to be in when the crap hits the fan and the boat starts to sink. Now, I know planning it is one thing and going through it in real world is a completely different thing. And there's not really an efficient way to practice it. I mean, I'm sure we could take a day and really try to practice it. But here is mentally what I would go through in my mind if the scenario was to actually happen. I would have one person getting the life vest out of the center console if they don't already have life vests on. Personally, me, I wear a life vest now, and one of the guys that I take with me frequently, he always wears one as well. But anyways, one person would be dedicated to pulling those out. The second person would be dedicated to pulling the ditch bag out with all of this equipment in here, and they're stored in 2 completely different places. Life vests are in the center console, ditch bag is underneath the captain's chair, so they can easily both get to them at the same time. While they're doing their tasks, personally, me, myself, I'm going to inflate the BCD on my dive setup. I'm going to pull that off of my roll control bars so that it is free rolling around. I'm going to grab my mask and my fins, and then I'm going to get to that radio, and I'm going to radio that Coast Guard the coordinates and let them know that we are in distress. From that point on, I'm going to try my best to get that BCD on my back, and I'm going to put those fins and that mask on as best as I possibly can. If for whatever reason we're already in the water, the boat has sunk at that point, I'm still going to try my best to get that BCD on me. Even if I've got the life vest on me, I'm going to try and get that BCD on me because I'm going to trust that more than anything else. And not only that, I'm going to have my EPIRB, I'm going to have my inReach, I'm going to have my Lifeline. All of those are already on my BCD. So the folks are going to have this ditch bag, and if they're drifting away from me, I've still got all of my stuff on me. If I've got my fins on me, I'll be able to swim back towards them, hopefully. Let's just say if I don't get to where I can swim back to them, I'm going to fire off my EPIRB. I'm going to have that thing going, and I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to also fire off the Nautilus Lifeline, and I'm going to start calling my wife on the inReach. Not really calling, but texting. I'm not only going to just text her, I'm going to text a couple of other folks that I have on here as well. And every single time I send a text on this, it's going to have a copy of my GPS coordinates. And so those folks are going to have a breadcrumb trail of where I am. Now, let's just say if I did get back to the ditch bag with my folks that I'm out there with, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get everybody tethered off, make sure everybody can stay together. Second thing I'm going to do is try and radio somebody. See if I can get somebody nearby to get us on the radio. If I cannot get anybody on the radio within a couple minutes, I'm going to fire off the EPIRB. I may even do this first and then this, depending on how we are in this situation. It could be a 6-foot day every 2 seconds. It could be some nightmare situation like that. But either way, I'm going to fire this off, let the Coast Guard know that we are in distress. I'm going to try and talk to somebody on this radio as best as I can. I'm going to pass this out, get everybody covered in this suntan lotion. I'm going to give everybody these Mylar blankets, and we're going to hunker down and we're going to hope for the best. As folks are getting dehydrated, we're going to drink on the water. We're going to drink the liquid IV. We're going to, do the best we can to survive in that situation. When the, sun goes down, we hear the helicopter coming. We're going to shoot off a flare. We're going to, well, I imagine you're not going to be able to do anything with the air horn on my BCD or on that one or the whistle. That's going to be for if a boat comes nearby, and especially at nighttime, we're going to use those air horns to make it easier for them to be able to see us. We're going to use the die packs to be able to make it easier for them to see us. But anyways, so that is my plan. That is everything that I have for my ditch bag for 2025. Now, I am not an expert. I am not the end-all be-all for this information. This is an accumulation of my experience and my information that I have gathered from other boaters, other captains, and other folks on YouTube. Now, if you see a better way to do this, you see an item that I am missing that you think would improve this situation, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. I am always eager to learn something new. I'm always eager to share the things that I know. So that is it for now. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Share and subscribe with your friends, and I will try to make more awesome content just like this. Thank you. Have a nice day.